We have more great news to get to for your Seattle Seahawks in regards to the salary cap. We'll explain more coming up on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. If you were with us yesterday, you may recall we did a video talking about how the new NFL TV rights negotiations are looking very promising for the future of the Hawks when it comes to the salary cap and what we estimate the cap projections to continue going up. Well, now we have new information from the NFL already confirming what we were discussing yesterday, that the cap is going to take a significant step up and bigger than we even thought at the time yesterday. Here's more from Dan Graziano of ESPN explain the following. The NFL today informed teams that the 2025 per-team salary cap will fall in the range of $277.5 million to $281.5 million, way up from last year's $255.4 million. Cap will have increased by more than $53 million over the last 2 years. So what does that mean for Seattle? What could they potentially do with said money? And where could they find more cash? We'll explain more coming up in just a moment. But first, I want to make sure you guys subscribe to Seattle Seahawks Today. We are closing in on 63,000 subscribers on the channel. Just need 22 more of you to subscribe. So if the entire cookout subscribes to the channel, we'll be right there, folks. And when we reach 63K subs, what does that mean? We're going to bring you even more videos than ever before. From daily news and rumors, live shows twice a week, breaking news, Q&A mailbags. We are talking trades, free agency, the draft, and more, all right here on your one-stop shop for all things Seattle Seahawks. Your off-season headquarters is right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Let's get there right now. So that number that was put out there from that post from Dan Graziano from the NFL, that is higher than any of the projections previously of what the NFL salary cap was going to be. And that's now back-to-back years that the NFL salary cap is taking this significant jump and is higher than what we thought it would. And this has a great effect on nearly every team in the league, including Seattle. Jason from overthecap.com put this out. That salary cap increase beats all but one estimate that we had from some teams. Helpful for the Saints and teams near the bottom. So think about this. You look at the Hawks situation. This gives Seattle more spending ability than what they were planning to have beforehand. And we knew that they were in one of the toughest cap situations of any team in the league heading into this upcoming season. And even for a team without much cap space, now with this information, knowing what we know, and also getting an idea of the rate of where this is going, we're going to go over some numbers here in a bit. This is a big deal for Seattle here. This was the break that John Schneider and company were looking for. And I know what some of you are going to say right away, that, well, how is this a big deal when it benefits everybody in the NFL? Well, I would argue this is big because this gets Seattle in a situation where they were kind of, had their hands behind their backs, and gives them the relief they were looking for compared to other teams that, yeah, sure, everybody benefits from this, but Seattle specifically benefits from this because of the situation they found themselves in. So what do they do next? We'll explain more here in a moment. I want to know from you guys, our pinned comment today, do you want the Hawks to spend more money when it comes to free agency and bringing players in and all? All you got to do on our pinned comment today, just type me in the comment section if you want to see the Hawks spend more money. Let us know in that comment section below. So here is what the salary cap situation has unfolded. A little history lesson for the folks out there to kind of put this in perspective. If we go all the way back to 2011, when yours truly was a young buck, I was a sophomore in high school, the salary cap was a mere $120.375 million. Then in 2012, it jumped up a little less than $300,000 to $120.6 million. Then we saw a jump of less than $3 million in 2013. And then there was our first significant jump. 2014 went up $10 million. Another 10 plus million in 2015. Then went up $12 million in 2016. Another 10 in 2017. Another 10 in 2018. And then about 11 in 2019. And then another 10 in 2020. But then we started to see things change. With the COVID-19 pandemic and with fans not being allowed in stadiums for much of the NFL and just a drop in revenue, we saw the cap drop down a significant margin in 2021 to $182.5 million. But since then, folks, look at the jumps we've seen. A huge jump to $208.2 million in 2022, $224.8 million in 2023, a big jump to $255.4 million in 2024, and then what we were thinking, what most teams and people were looking at this year, was that the cap was going to jump up to 265 to 275, which I think most people would have been happy with. And you look at the projections that were out there. Over the cap was saying it was going to be 272. Spotrac was saying it was going to be 275. The NFL Network was saying it was going to be in the 265 to 275 range. And now we get this number of this from the NFL that it's actually 277.5 to 281.5. That's a huge jump. It was already going to be a big one, and now it's even bigger than what we thought. And you think about it for Seattle, this seriously benefits this Seahawks team with the situation that they found themselves in when it came to this cap stuff. Because, let's face it, John Schneider hasn't done a great job when it comes to managing the cap, with not spending the money he should on the offensive line, and guys, older veterans like Draymond Jones and others, getting paid way more than they should have and such. They put themselves in a rough situation. And now, with the big jump in cap space, and with having more money than we thought, and then some potential moves that the Hawks should be making here in the coming weeks ahead, they can no longer claim that they're tight on cap space. Just for an easy math equation here, let's split the difference of the number that the NFL gave out to teams of that 277.5 to 281.5, and let's just for all intents and purposes start with a base cap of $279.5 million. Let's say that is the magic number. If that's the number, if you're John Schneider, you can work with that. And I'll explain why you can work with that, and the cap situation is much better for Seattle than we initially thought, coming up in just a moment. Before we do, today's show is sponsored by Public Rec. I'm a big fan of Public Rec. I got a couple of their shirts at home. I got the pants. They're extremely comfortable, and if you haven't checked out Public Rec, you're really missing out, folks. All right, guys, let's be real for a minute. Nobody's got time for stiff, uncomfortable clothes anymore. You know what I mean. It's February. It's cold outside, and you deserve to be comfortable in whatever you're wearing, no matter what you're doing. That's where Public Rec comes in. These pants are a game changer. Their pants are designed to be as comfy as your favorite sweats, but way more stylish. We're talking about super soft fabric, no stiff seams, and enough stretch to keep up with whatever your day throws at you. Public Rec isn't just about pants. They have so many great style options, whether you're working all day in the office, running errands, or just grabbing a drink with the guys. Who doesn't want to look sharp without sacrificing comfort? And I'll tell you, once you put them on, you're going to wonder why you ever wore anything else. Public Rec not only has the most comfortable pants ever made, but they have a huge selection of high-quality, everyday premium styles. You can revamp your entire wardrobe with their perfect-fitting polos, shorts, and hoodies. So this February, stop settling for the same old stuff. Step up your comfort game with Public Rec. It's about time you treat yourself. For a limited time, our listeners can get 20% off your entire order with code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. That's 20% off when you use promo code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Public Rec, proud partner of Seattle Seahawks Today. So, currently speaking, the Hawks cap situation is about $6.46 million. But there is money to be found. In fact, there's a lot of money just sitting out there for Seattle. It starts with an extension for Geno Smith. I know some of y'all are wanting to get rid of this man, want to see him cut or traded, but I can tell you all indications are that's not happening, that he is going to get a contract extension, and Seattle can save about $24 million against the cap by doing so. And then DK Metcalf. I think that he's not going anywhere. I think he's getting extended. And that can save you another $12 million. So all of a sudden, just with those two moves alone, folks, the bare minimum come NFL free agency should be $42 million in cap space. Now, granted, you do have to save about $10 million for your draft picks, but nonetheless, you're feeling a lot better about that, of being able to pay guys like Ernest Jones and getting some help on the offensive line and doing those things. That makes you feel a lot better. But there's still more money that Seattle can find. We'll explain more in a moment. I want to know, how many free agents do you think the Hawks will sign? What's the number? And who comes to mind that you would like to see come to Seattle in NFL free agency? Weigh in the comments section and let us know. So, we've looked at those three moves. Now, what else? Well, if you release Tyler Lockett, there's $17 million that Seattle has to their disposal all of a sudden. How about Draymond Jones? There's another roughly $17 million that can be saved if you release him as well. And then Noah Fant, you can release him. Heck, you can, in all likelihood, let's say for all intents and purposes, that you want him back in Seattle. You don't have to pay him that money. You can release him and sign him for a cheaper contract potentially, and you're looking at saving $9 million. Uchenna Nwosu, there's about another $15 million that can potentially be saved. Rayshon Jenkins, I don't think anybody expects him to be back, especially with the way Kobe Bryant stepped up. There's another $5+ million. Roy Robertson Harris, yeah, he's not going to be back. That's another close to $7 million. All of a sudden, folks, we're talking about a total cap savings of nearly $90 million. All right? That'll work. That'll more than work for Seattle here. And we have every reason to think that this trend is going to continue, like we talked about on yesterday's program. You look at the rise of the salary cap percentage-wise, 12.3% in 2022, 7.4% in 2023, 12% in 2024, somewhere between 8 to 9% in 2025. The all-time average is about 3.5%. With the upcoming TV negotiations and the way ratings are going up, this is only going to continue to climb. We are at the fastest rate we've ever seen in the history of the National Football League in this cap going up. It is not slowing down. And the NFL, sooner than later, is going to have a salary cap of $300 million. And it's going to continue to climb. That's very good news. And the Allen Family Trust, there's plenty of money there. There's no reason why that Seattle cannot keep up with the salary cap going up and have a willingness to spend said money here. All right? They're going to continue to spend every dollar of that salary cap for many years to come. And so with that said, the message is clear. John Schneider and company. Look, I know the situation looked pretty bleak just even a few weeks ago, but you already restructured Leonard Williams. That was a step in the right direction. Now you're getting more salary cap than we initially thought, and you got these upcoming cuts that are on the way of players there to free up more money. Spend that money and maximize what you can on this roster. Fix the damn offensive line. Go bring back Ernest Jones, and let's get this team to levels that we haven't seen in quite some time. Let's take advantage of this opportunity that's in front of us. For continuing offseason coverage, subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.